1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10 in the face, slim in the waist. 10 in the face, slim in the waist. 10 in the face, slim in the waist. Do you want to taste? Do you want to taste?
Check it, not from the bay, but I can make you go hype. Your girl won't like me, but your boy might wife me. Do the right thing, just like your name was Spike Lee. Ain't gotta do much to write in checks like Nike.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Nessa, aka Blasian Mommy, and this is the Realness Podcast, a podcast about living life through the lens of a Blasian. Okay, so this show is pretty much guest-based, and today I have a special guest, and you are?
Nam the Bomb.
Nam the Bomb. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So currently I live in Texas. I was born in Los Angeles. I'm pretty much Texas raised. I'm part Jamaican because I have a million jobs.
I was like, wait, what? Uh-huh. What do you do?
So my main job, I take care of sports injuries. I work at a football stadium, taking care of 5 junior high schools, grades 7 through 9. I also have a hospital job, doing the same thing. So they send me out to different sporting events. And then I also have a short-term tennis coaching season. And then I'm currently in the process of fully getting my teaching and my coaching certification so I can start doing that and doing my athletic training, sports medicine stuff on the side, like on weekends. So that's what I have going on.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, so you and I have been friends on social media for a while now, right?
Yes.
Do you remember how we came across each other?
So
Hold on. Hold that thought. Story time. How do we come across each other? Because I suck at this part.
So I know that I found you and you didn't find me. So this had to be on Twitter, 2000.
Damn, Twitter.
2000,
my ass does not go on Twitter no more.
2010.
2010.
Because I got in my relationship in 2011, and I used to be on Twitter all the time, looking for hot girls. If I saw any hashtags of Blasian people or Asian guys or husbands or whatever, tweets and stuff like that, I just looked at them and laughed and stuff like that. But I don't know if you remember this, but there used to be a big thing on Twitter, Follow Back Friday or something like that. Mm-hmm. So like they would hashtag FF, and then like they'll just start tagging like a bunch of people. And then probably, I know you probably have a couple Asian followers and Blasian followers and stuff like that. So probably we had somebody mutual and they probably tagged you, and then I followed you back and then stuff like that. So
okay, because I could see where that happened, because Twitter was like really big with the Blasian community, and it's one of those things where, you know how, like, well, I don't know if you know, but as Black folks, you come encounter with another Black person, whether it be on social media or in person, like, oh, what's up, sis? Hey, cousin. Hey, fam. Like, you automatically, well, I know in the Asian culture too, me being Filipino, everybody's your auntie, everybody's your uncle, everyone's your cousin, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the same in the Black culture, or excuse me, the Blasian culture. So if you had Blasian in your name, or whatever the case may be, you will get a follow back. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it was just a thing, at least for Twitter. I mean, we still do it with Instagram, but I remember Twitter being having a huge Blasian following, and that's how I came across plenty of Blasians from like everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that being said, we're going to move on to the next segment, and it's going to be called For the Culture. And it's funny because although you are Asian, this is going to be from Black Card Revoked. Have you ever played that game or heard of it?
No.
Okay. So basically, it is a card game where you test your blackness.
Oh, you use your black card if you say something wrong or something
Yes.
like that. Okay.
Okay. So even though you're Asian, I know you're married to a black woman, which we're going to talk about that more later. But I just thought it would be fun to play this game. So I have 4 questions that I'm going to ask, and I want to see how you would answer it.
If I'm invited to the barbecue?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to see if you're invited to the barbecue. Okay. So the first one, the question is, what kind of fish is best to fry for a fish sandwich? A, whiting. I think that says whiting. B, tilapia. C, perch. Or D, catfish.
Catfish.
Catfish is correct. It's funny too because okay, I'll ask later. Okay, well, as Asians, like a lot of us, we eat tilapia, but that's not the type of sandwich or fish sandwich you would want to eat. So I was really curious on what you would say. Do you eat catfish?
Yeah. So, my stepdad has a fried chicken shop.
Oh, okay.
So we do have catfish on the menu. And like when my mom makes like Asian style fish, like the one that I usually eat is the catfish. Like she usually does it in like a sweet and sour Thai chili sauce, and it's pretty good.
Ah, interesting. All right, next question. Still on the food section. Which food do you ask a certain family member to make because nobody else can make it right? A, mac and cheese. B, potato salad. C, deviled eggs. Or D, dressing.
So this is the one that you want a specific person to make because they're good at it, right?
Yes.
Or is it just the cop out for, okay, just bring anything because you suck?
The first one.
Okay. I know it's between A and B, the potato salad and the mac and cheese. Oh. I'm going to have to say the potato salad.
Potato salad. I wouldn't say there was really a right or wrong answer if you went with either A or B because, well, I'm not really big on potato salad, but I know I just can't eat anybody's potato salad. I don't know if you know, but I'm a mac and cheese
I do know
fan. I love me some mac and cheese. But the thing with mac and cheese, not that I can eat just anything, so I'm not gonna eat no Kraft like straight out the box. Like it has to be baked, it got to be seasoned, all of that. But for most family cookouts, that's one of the main things as well. You can't just eat anybody's mac and cheese. Yeah. So I feel like if you would have answered either or, there wouldn't be a wrong answer really.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I picked potato salad because it seemed a little more complicated than the mac and cheese, and it's so funny because growing up Asian, we never ate mac and cheese or grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff like that. Like I just started recently getting into grilled cheese sandwiches, and I apparently I make a really good one. I remember going to a NFL draft party, and one of my homeboys' nephews from his little town in Texas got drafted. This had to be 2011. He didn't go very far, but so they were having a draft party, and like I was like, man, I never had chicken salad with like crushed frosted flakes or stuff like that.
Frosted flakes?
Or toppings. That was their crusted topping.
Like is it like the panko crust or something like that?
Yeah, but it was but they used. I know it was cereal because you can see some of the cereal on there and stuff like that, and like other stuff and like.
Wait, you said it was chicken salad with the cereal,
maybe it was
basically?
casserole, something like that. It was one of those baked ones.
One of those baked ones.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's funny as hell. That's funny. Sorry, going back to that. So with the potato salad, I know people make fun of the white folks because they put raisins in it.
Yeah.
That's
weird. I know.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But I want to say there is some store. I don't know if it's Vaughn's, Ralph's, one of them. But I forgot which place has it, but they have some bomb potato salad. I can't quite put my finger on it.
I heard Publix has a good one too, because my friend was looking for one recently too, but we don't have Publix in Texas. I think it's a Florida thing.
Yeah, we don't have it out here. Yeah, it's mainly over there in the South and like East Coast.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. What's the best music movie of all time? A, 5 Heartbeats. B, Dreamgirls. C, The Temptations. Or D, Purple Rain. And with this, it's based off of you, so there's no real like right or wrong answer. I just want the listeners to know what you would think out of those 4 is the best music movie of all time.
So I can't win with this question at all because I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen any?
I haven't seen any of them. I know it's horrible. But you know, I've caught little tidbits of the Temptations and.
Have you heard of any of their music?
Yeah,
any of these artists' music?
So what were the choices again?
Okay, so 5 Heartbeats.
Okay, no, I don't know.
Dreamgirls.
Yes.
That's the one that Beyonce played in.
Okay.
You've seen that. The Temptations.
Okay.
And then Purple Rain. You don't even know what Purple Rain is?
I'm probably think it's Purple Rain.
Do you know?
That's the Prince one?
Yes.
Yes.
So you're going to choose Purple Rain?
I would pick that one. Because I think Dreamgirls is too recent. It's not a classic yet. And then the third choice was the Temptations.
Okay.
But for me, which one I would like, I'll probably say the Temptations.
The Temptations?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you could watch. I don't know if they have it on Netflix or something.
Oh, I can find it.
Yes. Last but not least, the question is best television sitcom of all time. Let's see if you watched any of these ones. A, The Cosby Show. B, Martin. C, Good Times. Or D, The Fresh Prince.
So for me, it's going to be the Fresh Prince, but I know most people are going to say Martin.
Interesting. And again, this was another question that was, no real right or wrong answer. But have you watched any of those shows?
I watched a lot of Fresh Prince for sure. Martin, I'll catch little tidbits of it and stuff like that. What was the first and third one?
The first one was The Cosby Show, and the third one was Good Times.
So no to the Good Times. And The Cosby Show, not really, Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, and that's not bad, I just was really curious about that. Okay, so quick advertisement. This is a quick Lyft plug. If you are looking to make extra money on the side or want a discount on a ride, use my discount code Vanessa 334087. Again, that's Vanessa VANESSA 334087. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so my next segment is called Amazing Blasians. And this is going to be a segment where every week I take the time out to recognize a fellow Blasian, as like myself. And they can either be a celebrity that you may or may not have known that were mixed, or that's someone that I know very dearly. So today's Amazing Blasian is none other than my favorite choreographer, Aaliyah Janelle. Do you know who she is?
Aaliyah Janelle.
I love her to death. So Aaliyah Janelle is a dancer, choreographer, and model who is widely known for her dope-ass choreography on Instagram. She also became the founder of the group Queens and Letos, where they dance in heels. And man, listen, I can't even walk in heels, let alone dance in them. So I give her and everybody else that can do that much props. And it's dope because she does a tour and she comes around to different cities. She's been to LA. I don't think she's been to, no, she hasn't been to San Diego, because if she has, I would definitely show up. But yeah, she's so dope. And the first person, fun fact, I think the first celebrity that she opened up for or like worked with was K Michelle.
Okay.
K Michelle, and then I know right now she's doing something with J Lo, because J Lo got some new music out. So she's just so dope, and she's so sexy, and she's just dope. But she's also Black and Filipino, like your girl, and her IG handle is at Aliyah Janelle Official, and that's ALIYAJANELL Official. So that was my spotlight for that. So now we're going to get to the topic of the day. All right. So we're going to be talking about you being a Blasian couple, and we're going to talk about it not being, quote unquote, the norm. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but most times when there's a biracial couple that is Black and Asian, Black and white, Black, whatever the case may be, it's usually the male is Black and then the woman is Asian or white or Mexican or whatever the case may be, right? So let me ask you this. What is your background with dating women in general? Like, did you like always like Black women, or did you like, you didn't discriminate? You was just like, I love everybody.
So I like everybody. I just remember being in elementary, and I think, this sounds horrible and maybe a little shallow, but like the girls that were most developed earlier were, black girls. But I remember, so I have a great memory of remembering things when I was 2 or 3. Like, I remember my times when I was here in California before I moved to Texas. I remembered stuff before I even started school. I just remember going to the beach and like accidentally falling on white girls' butts and stuff like that, and then like they would like talk to me and stuff like that.
And that was in quotes, guys. Yeah. Accidentally
on purpose. But it's so funny. Like today, nowadays, some of my friends that I met maybe in college that don't really know me, they think that I don't like Asian girls because they see me talking and dating a lot outside my race. But that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
I do like all women.
Did because you're a happily married man, right?
Yes.
Gotta save him.
Yes. But for me, like dating wise, like I was like a late bloomer. I didn't really date. I wanted to. Just the opportunity wasn't there, or they weren't really feeling it. But I talked to a lot of girls that were outside my race. But my wife now is probably the longest relationship and most real relationship that I had coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me ask you this. Okay. I know you didn't really specify on what type of Asian you were, so can you tell the listeners?
Okay. So I'm 100%. Well, nothing's 100%, nowadays.
Yeah, that's real.
But both my parents are Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so the reason why I moved to Texas was my mom got divorced when I was 4. So she wanted to get away from the situation from my dad. So my older sister and I, we went to Texas with my mom. And when I was in college, I had finally reunited with my father after 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And he met up with me in Texas. And he's currently living in the DMV area, Maryland, Virginia. area, and he gave me a book of my family history that dates back to, I don't know, the 1700s or something like that. So that's probably my most prized possession that I have, is this booklet of my family timeline. So my ancestors were working under a Chinese king. So they were like his servants, but not like slaves.
Yeah.
But they were up there because they were working hand in hand with the king that was there. So like there's a plot of land of everybody that's in the family there, and I think my dad had the plot there too. So he told me like whenever he passes away, he's gonna want to be buried back there. And so I guess I have some Chinese history in me, but for the most part, mostly Vietnamese. And I get confused a lot when I'm in public, either Thai, Filipino, sometimes Mexican. When I had a shaved head, looking like a cholo, and sometimes black too, because I work outside a lot. Sometimes my skin is super, super dark.
You got that melanin in you.
Yeah, I do. So.
Okay. So being that you are Asian, you're Vietnamese. What troubles have you faced, if any, with cultural differences? Like, was your mom or your family accepted of you? Did they accept the fact that you dated outside your race, and also were you being accepted by your wife's family? So,
I want to go back a little farther than that, before my relationship, like my childhood, where, some difficulties that I had. I remember being in first grade, waiting for my dad to pick me up from our babysitters, and we were waiting for my dad outside these really ghetto apartments, and like all these kids from the upstairs were like just spitting on me. And my sister, just because we were Asian. And this apartment complex was predominantly Black and Hispanic. So that was really an eye opener. And I just remember having struggles with finding girls to like me back when I was younger. And this is so stupid, but I remember thinking to myself, I was like, if I was white, maybe these girls would like me more. I would have more opportunities. And it's just so stupid that little part of, self-hate, I guess. Yeah. Because I guess sometimes when you're growing up, you think the white man is, the higher up. You know? So, and then fast forwarding to now, I remember my wife and I, when we were dating, I remember the first time I tried to introduce her to my parents, they were like, no. So that was really heartbreaking.
Were they like rude to her, or they did it behind closed doors?
Well, they had never met her yet, and I was wanting to introduce her for the first time, and they were like, no. Okay. And at the time we were long distance. She was living in St. Louis, and I was in Texas. And it took my parents over a year to finally open up to my wife. And the first meeting, we went to a restaurant, and we had dinner and stuff like that. And it was good, and then slowly my parents started opening up more and stuff like that. But they always said, it's your life, do what you want, deal with your consequences, whatever happens, okay? We can't change your mind, what you want to do, but as long as you're happy, do what you want to do.
Wow, so it took them a year for them to finally accept it.
Yeah. And that was really hard, and I remember just the first time I asked my parents if they want to come and meet us, they were like, no, and it was just like really heartbreaking that day. We were already like planning, okay, we're gonna have a wedding without them and this and that. It was just really difficult and stuff like that. So
Okay, and what about the flip side? So with her family, how was that?
her mom freaking loves me.
Nice.
I have never met her dad yet. But you know, he'll call sometimes and we'll talk on the phone and stuff like that. But her mom loves me. Her brother and his wife were pretty cool. So that was the easy part.
Okay, and that's dope because it's crazy how things are looked at on different perspectives. Like for instance, whenever, and this is not all people, but a lot of people, like when they see a black man with an Asian girl or a white girl or Mexican girl, whatever, a lot of times they're just like, oh, you don't love your black women and self-hate and da-da-da-da, all this stuff, right? So it's usually negative, but when it's the opposite, when it's a black woman with an Asian guy, with a white guy, with a Mexican guy, they get praised and they're just like, oh, okay, you got you a little, you know what I mean? It's like, yes, girl, it's like, it's crazy how the tables turn depending on whether it's the black man or the black woman, you know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting. So that's why I really wanted to have you on the show because, I mean, yes, I know that sometimes it's not always just, a black man with, quote unquote, stepping outside the race is what people would say. But, when you don't really see too much of it on the other side. So I always thought that was, dope, like to see that. So I was like, oh, let me ask my friend Nam. I had to have you on here just to.
Yeah. And going back to the Twitter days.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know it was categorized as AMBW. So Asian male or Asian man, black woman. Or it can be the opposite to BWAM. So those are like the hashtags. If you click on that, you'll see a bunch of photos of Asian males and black females and stuff like that. And then there's like specific like dating websites for that and stuff like that too. So it's kind of underground, but it's starting to go up a lot. Okay. So a lot of back then I used to post a lot and stuff like that, but then it got kind of creepy when some of the people who are really like into it, like almost like fetishizing stuff like that, they started stealing pictures of like couples and stuff like that and their kids and stuff like that, and it got weird. So a lot of those groups like on Facebook are like dismantling and stuff like, because there's a lot of drama and a lot of cattiness and stuff like that. But it's also so a lot between the black women, there was a lot of cattiness, and then with the Asian males, there was like a lot of using, like they were just using the women for like sex and stuff like that, and it was just really crazy.
So let me ask you this: have you seen the movie yet? The Sun Is Also a Star. That's the name of the movie, right?
Yes.
Did you watch it?
So we had planned last week to watch it. One of my jobs, I was supposed to work an 8-hour shift. It turned out to be 12 hours. So I missed the tickets on that day. And then it started raining a lot. And the bad thing about that time frame is there was a lot of good movies that came out. So this movie isn't up there in the box office, So its run was very short.
Can you tell the listeners who haven't heard of that what the movie is about? A short synopsis of it.
So The Sun Is Also a Star is about a Korean male. I think he's half. And he falls in love with a black girl. And then there was some difficulties and stuff like that, of course, in the relationship and stuff like that. And I don't know too much. I don't really like to watch trailers because I'll just like catch little tidbits.
Like of any movie, you don't like to watch trailers?
Like if I saw the Avengers, I'll be like closing my eyes and my ears because I have a really great memory and I just don't want to get spoiled by it. So like I just like catch little tidbits. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna watch it.
So basically, you wanted to watch it based off of the.
Yeah.
So you don't even watch the commercials. You're like, oh no, don't watch it.
Yeah,
like,
I'll turn it off or I'll just go away. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Continue with your story.
So
You said it wasn't really up in the box office.
yeah, so I think and then like I've been checking lately, and like the showings they only like show it like twice a day, because there's so many good movies out right now, with Aladdin. What else is out? The Avengers is still going strong. There's a new one recently. Well, there was just a lot.
Yeah. Have you heard of The Intruder?
No.
Okay, so that movie is with Holly Berry. Or Holly, why do I keep calling her Holly Berry? Sorry, Megan Good,
Oh, Megan
another beautiful black woman. Megan Good and Michael Ealy, aka Marco. I'm just like, so it's a movie about basically a couple buys a home, and the previous homeowner basically becomes an intruder, and just he crazy. But that movie also is one of those movies that they only show like once or twice a day, and it just came out last month. And because it came out last month too, right?
Yeah.
I want to say they even
probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, I want to say they both actually came out on the same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I know certain movies aren't really high up there in the box office, and then it's almost like, oh, it should be like on Netflix or something, you know. But I did see the trailer. Excuse me, I saw it a few months ago, and I thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, I might check this out, you know. So it's funny because I think I seen you posted something about it too.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, let me ask if he's seen it already.
Yeah.
So
Did you watch Crazy Rich Asians?
I did.
You did. What did you think about that?
The thing that sucks about it is I watched it at work.
Okay.
So I didn't really get to, whenever we watch movies at work, I don't really get to sit and watch the whole thing because I'm doing other things. Yeah. So I didn't quite see the beginning. So I saw it more from like the middle towards the end. Yeah. So what'd you think about it?
I really loved it. You know, it was
because that was more so on class, right?
Yeah, it was. You know, we haven't had the Asian people haven't really had a predominantly Asian cast type movie since I don't know, the Joy Luck Club in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So it was really good to see that. And if you don't know the story about that movie, so the guy in the movie, comes from a very wealthy family, meets a girl. The girl goes to China to meet his family, and she's having a hard time fitting in with their social class and stuff like that, and she starts trying to be outside what she usually is. And then, you know, finally she just got fed up, and she's like, you know what, you know, I love him, take me as I am, you know, and if you don't, then too bad. But it was just, and then just watching the wedding was really amazing too. I think that was just so extravagant how they did the Asian wedding and stuff like that.
How, if you don't mind me asking, how was your guys' wedding? Was it a big wedding? Was it a small wedding? Because I know earlier you had said originally that you guys were talking about, you know, just doing it on your guys' own. Yeah.
So after everything, you know, settled and you know, everybody was on good terms and stuff like that. So traditionally, I don't know if you know this. So have you ever been to a Vietnamese wedding?
No, I haven't.
So traditionally, for a Vietnamese wedding, the guy and his groomsmen go to the girl's house and brings gifts. And the last gift is always the lechon. You know what that is?
Yes. Yeah, we have in Filipino culture as well.
So a barbecue pig.
Yes.
So before that, you know, red's good luck in pretty much every Asian culture.
Yeah.
So we have like gifts. It's usually, you know, boxes of tea or pastries and stuff like that. And they're draped over like these really nice red silk covers. So we go to the girl's house, and, you know, each guy, you know, gives it to the parents of the girl, and then the two parents have a tea ceremony. And this is before the wedding. Okay. So traditionally, there's a tea ceremony before the wedding. Okay, so everybody from the main families, you know, we go and meet each other and eat. And then after that, so we're Catholic also, so we'll have a Catholic wedding. So tea ceremony, exchange of gifts, and then like an hour or two later, we'll have a ceremony at the church, and then afterwards, we'll go to a reception for the wedding. And traditionally for Vietnamese weddings, we have bottles of Hennessy or Remy, the expensive stuff, on every table. And with Asian weddings, we don't do gift registries. We just do money.
Okay.
So pretty much the more Asian people you invite, the more money you'll have in return. So and that money is used for, you know, your honeymoon or starting a family or your down payment on a house and stuff like that. But unfortunately, you know, my wife's family does not live in Texas. They live in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
And we were already living together anyways.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to have that, but we really wanted to have that.
That would have been dope.
So we had, so I'm Catholic, and we had a Catholic wedding, and then we had it in the reception hall there. So it was a very small wedding with about 70 people, but it was really nice, you know. We got to do our own thing. We saved a lot of money, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
It was just really stressful because we were, you know, we made all the decorations, stuff like that, and then we were working up till 4 a.m. before the wedding, so we were super tired.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know that's like a hectic day. Like, I've been in a few weddings, not my own. I'm still very much single, but I've participated in weddings, and I know it's a stressful time. Like, just even being the what's it called, the bridesmaid, and with my best friend being the maid of honor, so I know it's like a stressful time. Really quick, going back to movies, so there was a movie that came out, the one that I could think of, with a predominantly Asian cast, Asian, Pacific Islander, whatever my Filipino people like to identify themselves with. Me personally, I don't care. I do both, you know. But anyway, it was called a debut. I don't know if you heard it. It came out in 2001. So a debut, do you know what that is?
No.
So in Filipino culture, a debut is basically a huge party for when you turn 18. It's just like our Sweet 16 for Americans,
or
our quinceañera for the 15. So with Filipinos, it's 18, and it's called a debut. So basically, the movie was called a debut, and it was just basically about that. And I just remember there's a specific part of the movie where they were playing basketball. They were playing basketball, and I forgot, a comment was made, and then the guy was like, he's like, what do you think? We're the best in basketball, or something like that. You know, people that wasn't, you know, Filipino, they were black. They were like, wait, hold up, what he say? You know, so it was funny. But that was the only movie that I seen prior to Crazy Rich Asians where it was predominantly an Asian cast, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And that was in 2001. I
forgot to mention there was a movie that I really loved. It's a very low budget movie. It came out in 2000. It was an A&BW couple, and guess who the black woman was? It was Sanaa Lathan.
Sanaa Lathan?
Yes.
I love me some Sanaa. And you said this was a low budget movie? So this was before she was, this was before she was like popping?
I think so. So it was way before Love and Basketball.
Okay.
And it you know.
Say her name again, how you said it?
Sanaa Lathan. Is that not right?
Sanaa Lathan.
Okay.
Hey, but you know, I don't know her personally, so that could be the way you say it, you know what I'm saying?
So it was really, it was a comedy movie, and very heartfelt too. And there was that. So the Asian guy in the movie, he's Vietnamese, and during the Vietnamese War, he was adopted by a black family.
Okay.
So the dad was working in the military, and then, you know, he brought this guy and his little sister to America, and then so he was pretty much raised black. And then him and Sanaa were together, and then he grew up and started wanting to find his parents. And he finally found his mom, and his mom flew in from Vietnam, and then like she saw his girlfriend, and she was like kind of disapproving of it and trying to hook him up with another Vietnamese girl and stuff like that. It was
and it, and that's how it is most of the time when you are interested in everyone, you don't discriminate, and then you have your family members who feel otherwise, and it's sad. But yeah, that was dope. So shout outs and parting words. I would like to shout you out, Nam, for being my first official guest. And just being cool for. Did you say when you said it was 2010?
Probably 2010. So 9 years.
Okay, yeah, 9 years, almost a whole ass decade, and we finally get to
I know
me. So this is a special treat for me because I feel like I'm a down to earth person. So to see people and it's in person, be like, hey, and then not be weird. Like I think that's just dope. So shout out to you for that. Shout out to everybody that is very, what's the term, supportive of me branching out and doing my own podcast. I know it's a little different, but yeah, it's dope. So any shout outs that you'd like to have?
First and foremost, shout outs to my wife Lala.
Yes.
Hey
girl.
Shout outs to all my Blasians and Asians, interracial couples, the swirl life and all that good stuff.
Now listen! That's called motherfucking bars, nigga!
He said my swirls.
And I think you're one of my few friends that I know are Charger fans. I know it's been a little.
Was it Charger fan?
I know so it's a little different now since they left, but because I live in Texas and there's not a lot of.
I bet
they're all mostly the Pinche Cowboys fans.
Did you say the Pinche?
Yes.
The Pinche Cowboy fans,
But yes, but I still follow them even though they went to Los Angeles. I know there was a lot of controversy about the city and the owners and stuff like that. And I mean, they had, I think, over 10 years to do something and they didn't. And then but I'm really liking where the direction the team is going now and stuff like that. But shouts outs to the Chargers. Sorry,
really quick on that note. Like I know I got a lot of flack for that because I was a huge fan. Even when we sucked and we was losing and I was still all excited, but I looked at it like in a relationship stance and I was hurt, and then people were like, well, basically, he was like the dad and, that's not their fault. And I said, yes, but still, it still hurts. You know what I mean? So I was like the bitter ex-girlfriend. Yeah, so that's who I am. The
my
bitter
cousins
ex-girlfriend.
are like that too. They're like, why do you still like the Chargers? Like ever since, my family's still hurt, for them leaving too. So I understand.
Yeah. But I don't doubt anybody that does it. Like, I'm not like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, you're still a fan? Like, no, to each its own. But just me personally, I'm like,
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, my thing just... any other shout outs? And also, don't forget to drop your handles if you don't care or mind for people to follow you.
Probably not. I'm going to be kind of like Zach and
okay,
and
Zach.
be a little secretive and stuff like that. Because,
I meant to mention him too earlier. Sorry to cut you off. So, Zach... he's also part of the Jig Is Up podcast. He hasn't been on the show in a minute, but shout outs to him. He actually is Asian as well. He's part white and Lao, if I'm not mistaken. And back in the day, long time ago, that's our disclaimer. Long time ago, he used to date nothing but black women, and it was just the craziest thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his girl used to date black men. And it's funny how they ended up getting together, getting married, having kids, so it was crazy. But sorry, go ahead.
I don't want too many friend requests and stuff like that.
Okay, I respect it. And you married too? I cannot even be mad. All right, any other shout outs?
No, Not really, but I will take up your plug for your lift because
okay.
I'm planning on doing that like next week.
Oh yeah,
because summertime and I'm out of school for my school job, and then my camp runs Monday to Thursday, so like Friday to Sunday, and I just don't like sitting around. I like working, and if you can tell by all my jobs and stuff I do,
Jamaican. Yeah, and even with that, like you said, the whole you know, because I drive Lyft literally on Friday and Saturday. That's it. You know what I mean? So it's cool to, you know, if you're not looking for a full-time gig, you just want like a little, not even part-time, but like a side gig, you know, and just drive whenever you feel like that's something to do. And I'm sure, which area do you live in again?
Dallas-Fort Worth.
Okay. I've been there before. I got flued out one time. I got flued out one time. But yeah.
To Houston.
You said no. I got flued out there. Yeah, and we were staying there. But I've been to Houston before though. But that was a totally different thing. That was like for an event. I was part of a Facebook group. But I had a guy actually fly me out to Dallas-Fort Worth. So I was there for a little bit. We drove to Dallas. We went to the Dallas Mall, and then like
Galleria.
Back.
Probably.
It's been a minute.
North Park.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I like to leave the show on a positive note. So I'm ending it with a positive affirmation. And today's affirmation is: love has no color. I love love, and love loves me. Again, love has no color. I love love, and love loves me. So with that being said, don't forget to check me out on the Jig Is Up podcast, because that's where I started. That's my roots. Shout out to my boys. And chime in on my NSA segment. I like to do questionnaires and different posts and stuff with my peoples. So shout out to y'all that actually participate in that. So yeah. And on that note, thanks for listening. Until next time, remember to always keep it real.
Peace.